Hello there. What is up, you guys? It's Violet Taylor here, and welcome back to Let's Catch a Vibe. Now, I hope everyone's feeling great, feeling amazing, feeling vibey. Episode 2, y'all. Episode 2, y'all. You know what? I liked the first episode. I did feel that it was lacking that little bit of luster until towards the end, but this episode... See, I'm going to talk about the episode, and then I'm going to go into spoilers afterwards, right? First of all, episode, really, really good. I like that we saw more of Ethan Hawke's character, which isn't really more of a spoiler. We're going to see the development of that character anyway. More of Mark Spector, obviously. More of the supporting cast was involved in this one. The set pieces, the acting, again, really felt like some of the actors got on really well. Again, I'm enjoying the mental health aspect of the character, which obviously, if you guys don't know, if I didn't explain the last one, Mark Spector, or sorry, I should say Stephen Grant, has multiple personalities. He's got Mark Spector, he's got Stephen Grant, Jake Lockley, which is the taxi driver. He does have another alternate version of him called Mr. Knight. And then, I think Mr. Knight works with like the FBI and the police and all that kind of stuff. And then he obviously he's like a billionaire. He's one of the lower billionaires, but he's still a billionaire at the end of the day. But anyway, really, really like this episode. I felt like it really upped the game from the first episode. Because obviously the first episode is supposed to claw you in, like draw you in a bit. And then obviously the second and third are supposed to be like, yo, I'm hooked. Obviously this is only going to be 6 episodes, so obviously it's released every Wednesday. But yeah, overall, I'd say if you watch the first episode, please watch this one. Please watch this one. I can't really give you any more than that spoiler-wise, because I'm going to do spoilers in a second. So yeah, literally just finished, watched it. I'm going to watch it again later on just to see if there's anything I missed. But yeah, again, really, really good, solid series. If I had to rate this episode, it's definitely up to the game factor. Like the first episode was like a 7, 7.5. This episode jumped it into the 8s. And a half, like 8.5. This jumped it up, man. This jumped it really well. But anyway, guys, I'm going to give you guys a second because I'm going to go into spoilers. So I'll give you guys a second. Also, if you did like the video, don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and join Team Let's Catch a Vibe. If you didn't like the video, let me know in the comments down below why you didn't like the video, or let me know why you didn't like the episode. And yeah, pretty much I'll give you guys a little bit. Right, now we're going to go into spoilers. So, you've been warned. You've been warned. This is spoiler territory. So, pretty much the episode follows up with us finding out that, obviously, at the end of episode 1, Stephen Grant goes back to the museum. Obviously, we find out kind of what's happened, you know, when he messed up the bathroom. Obviously, you know, with his transformation into Khonshu. Now, he just go and talk to one of the security officers to review the footage. But in the security officer's, like, footage, all you can see is Mark. All you can see is Steve just running around the museum. You can't see anything else. Because obviously, in the realm of, like, mythical stuff, there's only certain things that only people that are enlightened with the eyes or the third eye can see. So obviously, all they can see is him just running around. And they can't see anything, so obviously they pretty much say that he's crazy. They say that they're not going to press charges on him mashing up the museum or the bathroom, but they are going to fire him. And they do offer to send him to, like, you know, this mental asylum kind of thing. Pretty much moving away from that, we go to a storage locker. If you guys remember the key and the phone that Steve Grant found, which was in Mark Spector's. He put it in like one of the ceiling boards, but anyway, all the roof boards. But anyway, we pretty much find out that he goes to the locker, or the hold up, which the key matches up. Find out it's like a little army, like a little, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a little barracks where there's like a bed, army suits and stuff like that. Obviously, this is Mark Spector's like kind of hideout where he stashes all his stuff. Find out there's a gym bag with the scarab in there. So obviously we find out that Mark did actually have the scarab and stashed it after Steve Grant switched personas. Or sorry, we find out Mark was schizophrenic. Anyway, we end up seeing more of Ethan Hawke's character in here, and we also see Layla. Layla catches up to him pretty much when he comes out of the storage unit. Obviously, after he gets absolutely scared shitless by Khonshu, Steve Grant does. I was a bit like, okay, did they just hit? It was like, I swear to God, they just hit us in this episode. When he's being chased by Khonshu out of the locker, Steve Grant, we see like a still image, and I was like, did they really just hit with a still image. Anyway, moving on, Layla catches up to him, and Layla's not falling for it because obviously she knows what Mark Spector's like. And obviously it's his wife. Obviously she comes there with divorce papers because obviously Steve Grant doesn't know anything. Obviously she thinks that Mark's putting up this persona, but obviously Steve Grant isn't. Mark's the other persona, so he doesn't actually know what's going on. Fast forward a little bit, we find out that some police come and arrest Steve Grant. Obviously, he thinks it's to do with the bathroom at the museum. They obviously log on the computer, find out that he's a world-class criminal. But obviously, these officers are working for Ethan Hawke's character. Because obviously the scarab that he took in the first episode is to pretty much, it's like a compass that'll point to Amet's tomb. If you guys don't know the Egyptian god, she's pretty much the one that looks like a crocodile. So you got Amet, Sect, which is the one that looks like a cat. You've got Bast, which is the Black Panther, where the Black Panther draws his powers. Bast is, part of the Brotherhood of Gods. And obviously you've got Khonshu in here. So actually, this actually ties quite well into the Black Panther mythos. Because in here, they do talk about the gods. Because obviously, Ethan Hawke was the first avatar of Khonshu. So he's telling Steve Grant, you don't have to listen to him. I was the first avatar. So Ethan Hawke kind of fills us in a bit on Khonshu and stuff. If you guys didn't know about him. Obviously, we get a discussion between Ethan Grant. Because he's been taken by two officers to go and see Ethan Hawke's character. He explains a bit about the powers and the backstory of... pretty much a bit more information about what he's about. So we find out that, there was like a dangerous part of the city. And now he's kind of like cleaned it up. Which I was a bit like, it makes you kind of fall for him. You're like, I know what, he's actually cleaning up. He's actually doing good stuff. But the only problem with that is, when you go after people like Minority Report, I think it's Minority Report. If you go after crimes that they will commit, everybody knows at the time you might think differently. But obviously these are going after like kids, for things that they might do in 30 years, which we don't know if they're going to do that yet. They might be growing up and they might be taught not to do it. But anyway, moving away from that, we see some more Moon Knight stuff. We see some more Moon Knight stuff. We do see Mr. Knight in here, which I think was really, really cool. The name of the episode is... bear with me a second. The name of the episode is... Oh, God. Oh! It's not working. One second. The name of the episode is... How can I have forgotten this? Summon the Suit. Sorry about that, the funny camera angles. But yeah, pretty much I'm still watching it now. Well, I'm finished. Well, this is the end. I've just rewound a bit. But yeah, pretty much we find out the episode is Summon the Suit, which Layla tells him to do when they're running away from Ethan Hawke. Sorry, I'm talking very fast. I'm very excited. Like, I just saw Moon Knight on TV. But anyway, we find out that, one of the jackals that the Ethan Hawke character summons pushes Stephen Grant out the window. He says summon the suit, hits his head, lands on the ground. We see Mr. Knight. It was cold. It was cold to see this. But it's kind of weird because all the bystanders just see him we just see him getting beaten up. And we can't see the jackal. And neither can Layla until she hits it with something where she thinks it might be. And then it reveals itself a little bit. But it's really good because obviously normal bystanders our minds wouldn't be able to understand what's going on. But obviously Mark can see it because he's been endowed with the powers of Khonshu. But anyway, moving away from that, we end up finding out at the end that Stephen Grant doesn't want Mark to take over, but he finds out he needs him to take over. We get a bit of a fight scene between the Jackal and Mark Spector, which was really, really cool. I really, really like that. This episode, like I said, this episode ramped it up a lot. But yeah, pretty much we end up finding out at the end that the episode leaves us in Egypt, because obviously Ethan Hawke's got the scarab now that'll take it to Amit's temple. And then Khonshu teleports Mark Spector to Egypt. So yeah, next episode, we're on the trail, we're on the hunt to stop Amit being summoned. But man, this episode was cool, man. I'm not gonna lie, this episode was cool. Now, I will say the CGI in here was really good. I felt really, really happy with the CGI in here. Obviously, everyone always has a problem with CGI and stuff like that, but I didn't have a problem with it. But yeah, I really, really like this episode. But yeah, I don't want to leave this lingering on too much longer. I felt like everything I've said has just been mumble at this point. But anyway, guys, that was my review of episode 2 of Moon Knight, Summon the Suit. If you guys did like this video, don't forget to smash the like button. If you did like the video, let me know in the comments down below why you didn't enjoy the video. Also, let me know what your favourite part of this episode was. I'd say probably leave it a little bit, because obviously this is going to pretty much be classed as spoiler episode anyway. So if you click on the video, you warranted spoilers. But anyway, let me know in the comments down below why you didn't like the episode. If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new and join Team Let's Catch a Vibe. Also, if you are new, please don't forget to switch on the bell notifications to get notified as soon as I upload. But more importantly, don't forget to stay vibey, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Cheese.